Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome to the Fanatic Forum, the home of geeks, and we missed you guys. We had an unplanned hiatus here, but so glad to see you guys back here. Thank you all for joining us, and let's bring in, of course, the Rosencrantz to my Guildenstern. I made that reference before, but I don't care. It's a good one here. I kind of miss VHS, Mr. Manhammer. Good to see you.
And that's a little clue as to the topic of tonight's effed up history. So, we'll talk about that a little more later.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that because, I am not clued because, of course, we initially had talked about doing an effed up history that you've got on some JFK conspiracies for about the assassination and stuff like that. But you weren't quite ready because you have been basically
that one's you had to put together like a good effed up history. Like I like to be sourced with what I claim and like have good sources and just like it's a matter of like I know where they are. I just need to compile them in a proper, concise order. Kind of.
I dig that.
Because it's like that's the thing. It's like one thing. It's like if I'm going to say some shit, like I at least want to kind of know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I respect that 100%. Yeah. So, but of course, tonight we're loaded up because Seth does have a effed up history topic that I am not privy to. So I'm looking forward to what that's going to be. I've got reviews for comic stuff. I didn't get to talk about Fantastic Four, so we're going to talk about that. Naked Gun, and then Seth, you've also got some other reviews yourself too for a certain magazine, isn't there?
Yes, there is. Yes, a magazine that's right up our alley.
It is, yeah, very cool. And then, so you had something else too?
It's not even necessarily a review. I guess it's more of an we can go ahead and talk about it now, right?
Let's do.
It's kind of even topical. So, like, I don't know if you're as a gamer, I don't know if you're privy to the stuff that's been going on with Visa and MasterCard, and as far as online payment processors are concerned.
Microtransactions and such.
No, so starting somewhere in Australia, there was a group that started a big uproar to Visa and MasterCard about the stuff that can be purchased online. And being like graphic stuff, pornographic stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Leaning very heavily on the pornographic stuff right now. So stop that. Because that's, obviously that's the easiest topic. No, they've been wired for sound tonight. So, but
do our girls have tonight been too? It's something in the air.
No, I think it's a full moon.
There you go.
Yeah, but
anyway,
but so this also trickles over to the European Union, right? So now, like, you've got Visa and MasterCard, who are two global companies that basically are trying to pull like this adult content off of websites like Steam and itch.io. Not necessarily just like adult platform or like these things carry adult content. It's behind it's behind like security measures and everything to get through it. But like if you wanted to buy an adult only game on Steam, you can. GOG is the same way. GOG, Good Old Games. Except, so where this story is going, so GOG basically made their own little FU package to Visa and MasterCard because where they are in Sweden, basically like nobody can really touch them right now. Wherever CD Projekt Red is, it's in a safe enough place to where they can take this bundle and like it was like 15 games I think that were all. What? Oh, okay. It was like 15 games, and like they ranged from like adult visual novels to Postal 2 and stuff like that. So like Postal, So like I've never actually played an adult game, right? So there's
Leisure Suit Larry is about the bike
Right?
bass.
Yeah. Leisure Suit Larry was about the biggest one, but there's one that I was reading about this bundle that kept being mentioned, and it was what is called an adult visual novel called Being a Dick, and it's DIK as in like the Greek alphabet, right?
Oh,
And
nice.
yeah, and what it is it's a teenage imagine American Pie but with sex scenes and or with like hardcore sex scenes. But the thing about it is the plot is actually pretty fucking good. Like I'm just kind of dicking around with this thing, like not expecting to really there's kind of a novelty to it, right? Like just to mess with
Yeah.
it. And of course you want to see your first naughty scene and all this stuff. Well,
Yeah.
then
Right.
4 hours later, when you're wanting the dude to actually get back at the jocks because they did some shit to him earlier in the story, you're like, I got invested in the characters. I got yeah. And that's the thing talking about online with this game. Yeah, there's it's like having your hardcore pornography scenes, but then there's also like this really good narrative that goes along with it, and the music's great. Like it really does feel like a 90s teenage sex comedy. Like they don't make these anymore. I laughed out loud at this thing.
Wow.
Like
Wow.
and it's like I haven't finished it. I only played about 4 hours of it, but it was like it was like I played 4 hours of it, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's like people. That's like what was it in Boogie Nights? You know, it's like Burt Reynolds' character was talking about. It's like it's like I want them like to sit there and be so invested in the movie they gotta sit there. You know.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, they're in the
exactly.
porn theater. They do what they're supposed to be doing in the porn theaters in the old school. If you don't know, kids, look it up. But anyway,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
maybe
And
watch where you look at. Anyway,
I
just go
gotta
watch
say
Boogie
this.
Nights.
Yeah, I gotta say this. The sex scenes themselves really kind of didn't do anything for me because it looks like plastic dolls, right? I
Of
mean,
course,
there's CG like computer people, and it's like they try and you can tell it's like this is supposed to be an attractive dude, this is supposed to be an attractive woman of a various type, right? But it's
yeah,
like it
yeah,
all looks plasticky, and it's like so the sex scenes themselves, it immediately goes into bad pornography angles, right? Like where in real scenarios. So that part's funny too. But then, yeah, but the damn story actually being engaging was what got me with this thing. So,
Oh,
I
that's
guess that's a
great.
lesson, It's like maybe there's some gold in them our hills. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, the old school, porn movies back in the day when like they had like actual like premieres and stuff like that. Like Behind
Yeah,
the Green Door and Devil Miss Jones and stuff like that. Like, I mean, those actually got like reviewed like real movies and had normal people attending them, not just there to get their jollies
yeah,
off. Like they
yeah.
they
They
were,
played in regular theaters. Yeah,
yeah.
of course. Yeah, yeah. Deep Throat
So,
was like the big deal, like the first real big. I think it was Deep Throat, right?
Devil
Moxley,
Miss
what are you
Jones.
doing,
I
Moxley?
think what is he doing?
He just took the cat food bowl downstairs. I don't. Yeah, we'll
Oh
finish.
my god.
Yeah.
He's like, Dad, you don't need to do your podcast. Just pay attention to me. And let me tell you, Mr. Moxley, love this boy. He is a horse of a dog, but you would think he's a little baby boy the way he acts.
Yeah, he's the thing is, it's like you fuss at him, but you can never be mad at him just
You
because it's
never be
the way he
mad.
looks at you. Because it's
Never.
never like he can tell he's being scolded, but then it's
Mm-hmm.
like he knows that it's like in 2 seconds you're just not going to be able to tolerate his cuteness.
Yeah, yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So love that boy.
asshole.
Oh, anywho. But yeah, so that's crazy though. Yeah, you actually get invested into the stories of these things. That's great.
Yeah, and it's like, and now some of the other games in this bundle are like adult video or like adult uh puzzle games and stuff, like where you do the slide thing to get the naked lady or whatever,
Like the old bar games and stuff like that, right?
yeah, stuff like that. I think there's one of them like that. But yeah, it's like it was just this interesting little bundle that they put together for free, right? And it was and so that was GOG's way of saying "f you" to the payment processors. And
Wow.
and part of this too is because the way that it's worded is so ambiguous. Like the payment processors they don't want to be involved with anything with involuntary mutilation. So
Okay. All right. Yeah.
and that could mean anything with a gunshot, or it's like a violent movie could then now be gone because It's just the nuance like that. That's the scary thing about that kind of stuff.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, I mean, at least there's, something out there that's saying, like, well, it's like, yeah, they're trying to put these stupid rules and regulations in, but we're going to just blow past that. So,
yeah.
That's kind of fun. One thing definitely want to bring up to you, a reason why weren't on last week. Like, we took a break 2 weeks ago because my wife and I were taking my nephew out to see Fantastic Four, which I will have my review of here in a moment. But unfortunately, Michelle's 96-year-old grandmother passed away. And it was a situation where she had been in pretty good health. She's been living in a nursing home for the last about 5-6 years and really kind of thriving there. And then she basically took ill for about maybe 2 weeks and kind of got better. And all of a sudden, that was kind of it. So it's kind of those situations where, like, not to compare a human being to a pet, but kind of when your pet's in really good health and all of a sudden there's that period of time where, like, all of a sudden they're old and like they take ill for a little bit of time, they pass away. So it's a very short period. It's kind of the same way. It was a very quick period of her being sick and then she passed. So, but I tell you what, man, 96 years, she lived a heck of a life there in the old West Virginia hills. So, being a heavy influence to Michelle, basically for being a teacher. So, of course, Michelle's started her 25th year yesterday.
No kidding. Wow. So, how many more till retirement?
She's basically talking. She keeps changing the range, but I think we're somewhere within the 3 to 6 years.
Okay.
So probably a maximum of 6 years, but at least a minimum of 3.
Yeah.
So we'll see how things go.
Yeah, isn't that weird that it's like when we look at things like that, like we're already like halfway over our working career,
Mm-hmm. I know. Yeah, I mean, it's been, if you go into the traditional, we retire at 65 sort of thing like that. I've got 15 years, so I mean,
right,
so
yeah,
yeah. So of course, I'm probably not going to be retiring at 65 or anything like that. So
yeah, it's like who knows if any of us will see. Like, yeah, Michelle might see retirement, but yeah, who knows if you or I will. But
yeah. Workers of the world unite.
Right. Where did you get that shirt, by the way?
This Savage Conan there. I ordered this off of Comic Hub. I looked up. They have like it's all Titan that basically is producing these or doing the Conan stuff. The highest up they go is 2X.
Oh, daggone it!
And I know. I looked
more X.
I know, right? That's what I was going to say. I wish they'd do that because they've got like a bunch of different designs. I think Tommy ordered some for himself too. Which, by the way, Tommy's back in the shop now. Came back this week for the first time in months. Yep.
Good
so
deal.
He's back kind of a part-time basis. He'll be in for like usually the morning and half the day, and leaves kind of mid-afternoon and whatnot. And then of course Josh is still with us, and so he and I are in the shop for the rest of the day, and then I'm doing my shows and all that stuff. But yeah, so he's finally coming back in. He's got to build up his endurance a little bit more because he's been basically recovering from his throat cancer and stuff like that. But yeah, so things are returning back to normal.
Well, good.
Yeah,
I'm glad Clobbering is getting back to their equilibrium. And condolences, by the way, for for your loss.
Yeah.
We should have led with that before we got into my porn game story. I apologize. But sensitivity does not. Yeah.
No, it's okay. Yeah, Pearl would have no idea what you were talking about anyway. But yeah, it was a kind of a whirlwind trip, going back to West Virginia for Michelle. But I mean, everything went great as well as it possibly could have. We had great weather. We were up on a mountain for a little bit. Was where the burial site was. So yeah, I mean, it was a nice trip. We had a good time, as much as we could possibly have. But yeah, I say there were some people that were sad, but for the most part, it's like, man, she lived to be 96 years and had grandchildren, great grandchildren, stuff like that. Influenced her grandchildren to be teachers themselves. So it's like, yeah, she lived a good life, good woman. So
well, good.
Yeah. All right. Well. Of course, so we got a lot of reviews to talk about, and of course, we've got your effed up history. So I got a few comic reviews to discuss here.
Do we get to play
One,
how many Batmans?
you do get to play how many Batmans? Let's see. I've
Ooh.
only got one, two, three, four. I've only got 4 comics and then 1 magazine, which the magazine will be pretty obvious that I get to talk about this one last
I
week.
can already see it. It's your one-way ticket to midnight. Call it
Yes.
heavy metal with the badass Elric cover.
Yeah. Look at love that Elric cover on there. But yeah, issue number 2 of the new heavy metal, and just as much of a thick boy as the last one. So yes, it looks like our issues are going to be $15 a piece, and big old honking books here. Again, just love. This is just it's the good old days once again. For heavy metal. You do get some familiar faces. We get a new Harry Canyon story in here. Of course, there's a new Tarna story. We got some Tarna stories in the last issue, but the same creative team who's done some of the ones in the first issue are coming back. But yeah, got all kinds of cool stuff. I think there's a much more diverse take of art styles and genres in this issue than there was in the first issue. The first issue is very fantasy heavy, and has some sci-fi stuff, but we got fantasy, we got sci-fi, we got some comedy, we got some noir stuff, we got some weird shit. So yeah, this is, I think, is a much more diverse in art styles and types of stories than the original issue was. But yeah.
That's good to hear, because I really loved that first issue that they came back out with. I was worried that heavy metal was we got super lucky with Savage Sword coming back, right? It's like the 80-page magazine and the format that's in, and that feels really good and like old school. The only thing that's different on that one is there aren't like 3 pages of Marvel ads in it, right? Like, for various crap. We get all killer, no filler,
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
yeah, and so it's like I was thinking it's like, man, that's what they could either do heavy metal the way that the new Fango is done, Fangoria, which is quarterly, and it's like a perfect bound book basically. It's like 200 pages. It's a super nice publication.
Yeah,
And
we get Fangoria in the shop, by the way.
yeah, it's as much as I would love to get it, it's one of those books that it's like I would just like it's one of them I just
$20 an issue.
Yeah, that's the killer. Because I had a subscription when it relaunched. I've got the first 4.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, and it's like, because it's like I had that was when I was working 2 jobs and had a bunch of disposable income, but like no free time ever.
Sure.
But got that, and but after that they keep trying to get me to subscribe, and like they've got great deals with it, but it still comes out to about $20 an issue with shipping and everything. And
oh yeah,
yeah.
And that's what is on newsstands too. So when we sell, it's like $20 an issue. So yeah. But I mean, you're right. It's a giant. I mean, it almost feels like it's a larger magazine than the original.
I think it definitely is, and I feel like they put the value into it. It's one of those things where it's like I don't think that the value is wasted at all, because it's like from the issues that I have read, they're very good and in depth and everything with like long form articles and stuff. But it's just like there just comes to a point when you can't collect everything, right?
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, like heavy metal was a hard pick. Like the first issue being as good of heavy metal as it was, like heavy metal almost would have been a pass if it wasn't for that much of a knockout fucking issue.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, second issue lives up to it, I think. So far so good. So
sweet.
Yeah. All right. Well, our one DC selection this week here.
Oh, so it's the only Batman book.
It's not a Batman book.
Damn it. We don't have any Batman books. You jerk for.
Well, see, there may be a very good potential for Batman books next week, because I've only got a small short pull list next week, but I think I've got like 2 Batman books on there. And one of them's Dark Patterns, which I freaking love that book. So
is there a new Question Green Arrow Batman series coming out?
Yes. I can't remember who's writing it, but he's like, I've heard about this on Comic Book Club News Daily. And basically the writer was talking about, it's like, while I'm taking inspiration from the Denny O'Neil runs of all 3 of their respective characters, so it's going to be that kind of like personalities, and they're going to be kind of combative probably with each other in some ways. He's like, it's a new story and I'm taking it in a new direction sort of thing. But yes, there will be a new crossover coming out, I think maybe November, I think it's what it said.
Because
it's fall or late fall. But yeah, but
okay.
it's Batman, Green Arrow, and the Question.
It looked like the Vic Sage question to me.
It is the Vic Sage question.
Okay,
yes.
and not that I'm against the Renee Montoya question. I loved the trade off, like the handoff of that. But like Vic Sage was my boy, man. Like that was like I read the Denny O'Neil question back in like in a very weird time in my life, and that was very helpful in a weird way. Like
therapeutic.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to jump on your comic review. But
no. And but that's kind of the thing, though, is that's kind of why he chose the Vic Sage version of the question as opposed to Renee Montoya, is because he's kind of like taking a page from the Denny O'Neil runs of both.
Yeah, right.
Basically when he was on Batman, when he did the question in the '80s, and then of course his seminal run with Green Lantern, Green Arrow. So
yeah, please pick me up one of those two.
Yeah, of course.
Vic Sage question right here. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Like, did you ever get the issues of all the issues of the many deaths of Vic Sage, the Black Label series?
I don't have the issues. No, I have the hardcover of that one.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I'm cool on that one. Yeah, I had to get that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was so.
Oh, dude,
right. But anyway, again, yes, my one DC selection for the week here: Absolute Green Lantern issue 5. And let me tell you, this is where stuff really starts heating up here. Of course, probably if they're doing trades, this may be where the cutoff point, or they do it on issue 6. But yeah, again, the Absolute Green Lantern series is basically taking the Green Lantern mythology and treating it like a horror movie. Because you have this alien invasion where I got this giant ship symbol of a Green Lantern symbol, but essentially it's a ship where Abin Sur touches down to Earth. And Abin Sur looks very different than his traditional, purple form, sort of thing like that. Judging basically the people in this town. And of course, the people in the town all happen to be like Hal Jordan, John Stewart, Joe Mullen, Guy Gardner. So it's like, right. All these Green Lantern characters or lanterns themselves are all in this town together. And so some interesting stuff's brewing in here. But yeah, this is the issue things get really, really cool.
Nice.
So, yeah. But like I said, I've really enjoyed the Absolute series. I think of the original 3, like Batman and Wonder Woman are definitely your 2 best, even though Superman's really starting to get interesting, especially the last issue had a nice twist to it. Right. But if you've kind of been reading it, it kind of makes a little bit of sense too. But so it was a twist that I should have seen coming, but I was like, oh, okay, yeah, when you read it. But and then the second wave, which was Flash, Green Lantern, Martian Manhunter. For me, Martian Manhunter is clearly the winner, because it is such a weird, out there book. The art, the approach to the storyline. You've never seen the Martian Manhunter this way before. If you're not reading this, go stop what you're doing. Even stop the show. Go. The first 5 issues are out there. Do it. I'm telling you. Flash is good. It's a little, ironically, slow going, but it's also doing the most world building of the DC universe as well. And then Green Lantern definitely is my second choice for best book, because, again, taking the Green Lantern stuff in a whole new direction, but using familiar faces, very cool. So there you are. Let's see. I've got one Marvel selection here, and I'm so sad to see this miniseries go, because it was literally, this is a classic people are going to be talking about. But Daredevil, Cold Day in Hell, number 3 here. So this is a 3-issue miniseries that Charles Soule and Steve McNiven did here. Essentially, it's kind of an old man Daredevil storyline.
Right.
In the future, Matt Murdock, his powers have kind of slipped away, so basically he's just a good old-fashioned blind man. But you've got kind of this totalitarian state, because there's no more superheroes, sort of thing like that, so they're in control, and things are kind of getting a little bit rough there. Maybe somebody needs to step in, be a little bit of a freedom fighter. Also, you've got these terrorists dropping, kind of dirty bombs around the place. Essentially, what they're trying to do is trying to find people who are lap superheroes and reinvigorate them. Well, Matt gets caught up in one of those. So suddenly he gets his powers back temporarily and now gets caught up in this sort of thing like that. But you see also future versions of Steve Rogers, Bullseye, the Punisher. And let me tell you, the way they have Punisher in this future version.
Oh, damn. Okay.
I don't want to spoil anything, but it's memorable.
All right.
Yeah. But yeah, 3 issues. And this is, again, this is, after people read the first issue, all the reviewers this is going to be one of those, Daredevil stories that people will talk about in the same breath they talk about, Daredevil Born Again, or they talk about, any of the, the Chip Zdarsky run, the Miller stuff. Just the classic Daredevil stuff. And again, it was only 3 issues. There were larger issues, but it's it went by so fast. 2 indie books to talk about and wrap it up for me for my book reviews here. This has just been a lot of fun since the return to Image Comics here, even though Larry Hama had his IDW run. The return of G.I. Joe to Image, this is number 319. Basically, you had a second Cobra Civil War going on Cobra Island, where you had the forces of Cobra under the command of Cobra commanders, loyalists to him. The other half of Cobra under the guise of the new Serpentor, which basically was a revived Genghis Khan, essentially made to be Serpentor Khan.
Okay.
And then also this group of, essentially it's kind of an AI cyborg collective that sometimes they assist Cobra and sometimes they're just a thorn in everybody's side. But Hamas had them going for a long time. Well, they had some mutant people going on. So you had some weird shit going on here. And this all essentially concludes with a big knockdown, drag-out fight between Destro and Cobra Commander. And literally it's one of those things there's a bunch of Joes standing outside going, you know what? We're going to let them do their thing. And we're going to just hang here and see who comes out. And then when they had Destro was dragging out Cobra Commander's body, cool, all right, ended the way we wanted to. Let's put him in handcuffs, and there we go. So, but now you've had, essentially, we think things are kind of changing, shaking up here on Cobra Island. So the Joes decided to put Team Ninja in a undercover sort of thing, where they were posing as a Cobra family. So every member of the Ninja team was either posing as a husband, father, children, even one of the guys who's mute and doesn't speak, and it's not that Snake Eyes, was posing as the grandfather who's in the wheelchair with the oxygen mask and kind of stuff like that. So, but in this issue, the undercover operation goes pear-shaped. Dr. Mindbender has had a bit of an upgrade in both body and armament, so that's a problem. And also, he's trying to revive the OG Serpentor now that Serpentor Khan is dead. So there's a lot going on in this issue, but there's a lot of action. And again, if you're an old school G.I. Joe fan, this is good stuff. The Energon Universe stuff is fun too, but don't skip out on Larry Hama doing a Real American Hero on Image. Let me tell you.
Say, you've been following this story for decades at this point. Yeah.
Pretty much. Yep. Pretty much. But yeah, good stuff. So, hey, Mr. Bradley Smith, good to see you. Good to see you, sir. All right. One last book here. Of course, I love me that Oni Press brought back the EC brand again. And so they've got a whole new wave of books out. So we had a miniseries for Epitaphs from the Abyss, which kind of was their horror anthology. That lasted 12 issues. You had 4-issue miniseries of Cruel Universe and Cruel Kingdom, which were respectively their sci-fi horror and fantasy horror. And so now they have some new ongoings. I've talked about Blood Type, which is a vampire series. Catacombs, Catacomb of Torment is the new ongoing anthology horror, which that's a lot of fun. The first issue was. But then we've got a volume 2 of Cruel Universe. And so nice Liber Mayho cover on this one here. And the fun thing I love about the Cruel Universe stuff is the sci-fi series aren't afraid to get a little bit social or political, because that kind of jives a little bit better than the horror sometimes. So this issue does not skimp on being out there. The main storyline is basically an alien race are coming to Earth, basically to they're completely benevolent. They want to share their knowledge and their technology with us, fix our issues because they've been studying us for a while. It's like we can solve your homelessness, we can solve, your hunger, all this kind of stuff like that. But like, oh man, the way we look, like it's going to scare people, and so they are studying, our documents and everything like that. Like we found a form that will make us, we basically will blend in and we can talk to people and kind of spare the horror of our true appearance. Well, the form they pick apparently wasn't well received when they get to Earth, and it's kind of ironic as to why. So,
of course,
and I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's a couple other really good stories in here. But the favorite thing I love they've been doing, they did this with the first issue of Catacomb and Torment, is they reprint an old EC Comics story. So in the first issue of Catacomb and Torment, it was the classic tale. I think it was in a Vault of Horror called Halloween, where you had a orphanage with a lovely headmistress who cared about the kids, and the guy who was running the place basically was the miser, didn't want to spend money on the children, didn't want them to have fun, eat your gruel and enjoy your cold and thin blankets or anything like that. And well, basically on a Halloween where he's not allowing the kids to go out and trick or treat, the kids get their comeuppance. So, but in Cruel Universe, we reprint an old, basically a sci-fi story. I can't remember if it was like Shocking Suspense Tales or something like that, but this one's Derelict Planet. So again, I kind of hope this is something they keep doing in the ongoings, is reprinting old EC tales, because that's a lot of fun. Especially doing a compare and contrast of like, here's the modern way of how we're doing things, and here's the way they did it in the 1950s and even earlier. So that's pretty cool. I love that stuff. Yeah. All right, sir. You're on deck for your review here for your magazine. Of course, you sent me a copy of this as well. I didn't get an obvious chance to read it, but I at least paged through to see what it was all about.
Okay, cool. So you got kind of an idea, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah. So now this magazine, I'd been seeing like when I'm browsing for Kindle books on Amazon, the Kindle Unlimited ads pop up, and part of my algorithm feeds me fantasy and sword and sorcery stuff, right? So I've been seeing this magazine for a while, and I was kind of thinking about picking it up, and it's part of the Kindle Unlimited thing, but I'm just never with Kindle Unlimited. Well, on the Sword and Sorcery subreddit, the guy that runs or publishes the magazine said that he had some PDFs, and does anybody want them? PM him. So I did, and I got this guy, Savage Realms Monthly, the July issue for the July 2025. And now I bound this myself. I made this like the PDF, this is a printout of the PDF for my own personal use. But what it is a sword and sorcery pulp magazine, basically. With this issue contains 3 stories, and all of them are they're pretty good. I was actually highly entertained by all 3 of them. They're very imaginative. The first one was probably my favorite, about the flame golem lady that just like entices all. But it's got some interviews with the authors in it and everything. Very, very good. Like if you're into like the pulp fantasy, like Conan, Elric, that kind of stuff. Like this is something worth checking out, for at least from this issue. So I think I am going to start going back and trying to see what I can do. I think each issue is like $3 digitally on Amazon, and I think it's 10 if you wanted a printout copy. But no, definitely check it out. Savage Realms again. They actually even had one really the covers this cover is actually kind of tame considering what they normally do. But normally they're very like more kind of old school sword and sorcery kind of deal. Almost cakey. Actually, hold up. Yeah, here's a kind of an idea of what you can get on the.
Hang on, let me put you up full here.
Okay.
Let's see. There you go.
Yeah. But here's an idea what some of the covers are, and the stories in there, at least, they're very vibe. The cover very vibes with the content. So if you're in the story, it's 80 pages, so you could read this like in under 2 hours, realistically, and that's it. Like probably even if you're a slow reader. But it's like the stories. They're quick. They're good. I love short stories, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
just
I do
having
too.
like
Yeah.
good slug 'em up sword and sorcery is just kind of my jam. I liked it. I'm on board with it. So yeah, definitely check
Oh,
out.
Bradley says
Yeah.
things he might
Oh,
like.
Bradley.
Savage
Yeah,
Realms.
I think you will, sir. I think you will. And yeah, get if you I think if you can get a trial of Kindle Unlimited, you can read the whole run. And
Oh, nice.
yeah, they've got that. Yeah, it's part of the whole deal with the Kindle Unlimited thing. And
Far
or
out.
the issues are $3 just to buy or to buy the digital Kindle version. I
Nice.
was not
Okay.
able to find a PDF site because I was going to see if they were PDFs and buy them that way. But I think that they just have an exclusivity deal with Amazon, and this was just a promo copy. So
Okay, I dig that. So, yeah, a couple other comments here from Bradley. So, yeah, talking about the Cruel Universe book. There's even aliens can't help us. Exactly,
yeah,
they're here to help, but we still, yeah, it's like, yeah,
Oops.
with the, we get the keys to the kingdom, and we'd still blow up the ship. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
And the reason why Bradley is just now joining us because he was in the middle of a 100% completion of the quarry.
Oh
No,
dang, dang!
nice. Impressive, sir. Hats
I need
off
to
to
play
you.
that game.
Dude,
Is that
it's
still on
fun.
Game Pass?
Quarry's fun, yeah.
Yeah, I have it. I have it for PS. Well, I still have the copy for PS5. I don't have the PS5,
Do you
but
have a Xbox? Do you have a Xbox One or
I have
Xbox
a
at all?
Series X. Yeah, Xbox
Or
Series
is it,
X.
oh yeah, you got the okay. I've got it, so I'll just put it in the stack with your books here. You just borrow my copy.
Oh, okay, that'll work. Cool thing. I got to give you back your Dark Pictures anthology too.
Oh,
The
that's right. I forgot you had
Yeah, I keep forgetting. I keep forgetting to get them too. I finally,
that.
after like 6 months, got your Dean Hill book back to you. I think.
Yeah,
Like,
that's okay. Your Bands of the Wild book that you let me borrow. I still have yet to touch that damn thing. I have every intention of reading that. I've yet to pick it up.
that is fine because if it, yeah, I read it, so it would be it would be somewhere else. So take your time. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
But
well,
yeah,
you keep feeding me cool Savage Sword stuff, so that's
I mean, yeah, that's when you have access to high end printing equipment and you can make very good reproductions of things.
There you go.
Yeah.
And Bradley's. I'm right here with you. I love he loves stories about metal, gore, boobs,
Boobs,
monster
monsters,
space, and sex.
exactly. Yes, exactly. Yeah, Savage Realms is yeah, it's really up there with you. Yeah, you dig it.
Yeah, of course, we're both parts of the mutant family here. So, as Joe Bob
Yeah.
says, blood, beast,
Dri-
boobies, and more.
yep, the drive-in will never die, baby.
Oh, they added remastered versions of Heretic and Hexen on Game
Oh,
Pass.
dang. I did not know that. That is
Tight,
awesome.
tight. I'm doing another playthrough. I'm almost finished of Gears 5. And my next thing, because we were talking about it, is basically the Marvel Universe Unlimited. Basically, I'm going to do both of those, replays of those.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. So I was talking with somebody about those recently with superhero games.
Yeah.
We did a show about that, didn't we?
Yeah. Yeah, we talked about superhero games.
Okay, yeah. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Time's a flat circle. I have no idea where I'm at. Okay. All right.
The game that I keep coming back to, it's like I keep thinking about I need to play again soon is Cyberpunk. I want to play that again.
Oh yeah, yeah. I remember
Yeah.
you said you like that one. I haven't touched that one because of course I heard how.
Yeah.
Well, when it first came out and the game was buggy and the systems were buggy, so I just avoided it. And then
Right.
the only so I just never got around to that one. So
yeah, that one was actually I bought it 3 times to play it because yeah, it was supposed to work on PS4. It ran like shit. It was supposed to work on a 1050 Ti graphics card, which was my PC at the time, and it did not. And so then, yeah, my last option, which actually ended up being the best version running of the OG, was Stadia, Google Stadia. They're cloud based. So
wow.
like, yeah, it made me a believer in cloud based gaming. Because yeah, it's like so I was up here like I was playing Cyberpunk over Wi-Fi with no lag or anything, and I was just having a field day with it, and everybody else was complaining about it crashing. And it's like I bought the game on Stadia, and they gave me the $50 controller for free.
Okay.
And so yeah,
That's
Stadia
tight.
was and a Chromecast with it. Yeah, Stadia was ahead of its time,
Dang.
man. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's pretty cool. Well, I got a couple of movie reviews before we go into effed up history here.
Yeah.
Because, of course, Didn't get to talk about this one 2 weeks ago because I wanted to. Where we'll talk about this a little more last week, but getting to see Fantastic Four with Michelle and with my nephew was awesome. And yeah, I don't want to spoil too much of this one in case somebody hasn't seen this. But if you haven't, if you're on the fence about this, highly recommend going to see this. This is the good MCU stuff you're wanting again. This whole movie is 100% a love letter to Jack Kirby. As much love as Stan got when he was alive for the MCU stuff, for real, Fantastic Four fans know that that book was almost as much Kirby's book as it was Stan's. Especially Kirby always saw himself as the Thing. So that was a character that was very near and dear to his heart. So even the way Thing is treated, there's so many Kirby Easter eggs throughout the movie. Even at the risk of spoiling this, Natasha Lyonne's character is essentially an Easter egg herself. But it is, for anybody who's always wanted, like, why can't they just make a Fantastic Four movie set in the 60s and they fight Galactus?
That's this one.
Quit complaining. Quit your bitching. This is the movie you wanted. The family aspect is there. Ben and Johnny pick on each other, but they die for each other. Sue is the boss lady of the whole operation. You even get Herbie thrown in here from the old 60s cartoon. Yeah. The way that they're treated in this world, because this is not the 616. This is a separate world. They make that very clear from the beginning. But yeah, it's like, this is just it. Galactus is perfect, and I don't care about the haters on Julia Carpenter, like, oh, they did a gender swap. No, she's playing Shala Ball. She's not Norrin Red. She's Shala Ball. Again, this is a different world. While they basically give her Norrin's storyline, it's a different character. Yeah. But her performance as the Surfer, like I said, Galactus is perfect. Franklin, we get to see him in baby form. He's cute he's baby. He's cute. But everything about this is
powerful mutant in the Marvel universe.
We see maybe a little bit of that. But yeah, again, just a lot of fun. So many deep cuts for Fantastic Four fans. Doesn't matter what age group you're in, you're going to get some of these. But yeah, even the Roger Corman unaired Fantastic Four movie gets some love.
That is cool. Oh, now you say that, I'm wanting to hear. They had the cameo. The cast all had cameos, right? Oh man,
I don't remember if the guy who played Doctor Doom is in the movie, but all four of the four are in the movie.
Okay. One of them might have died, I think.
Maybe it was Doom. I think it was Doom. Maybe passed away.
Yeah.
And honestly, he was great. Like we haven't seen RDJ play Doom yet, but so far he's my favorite performance of Doom.
And Roger Corman.
Yes, because that guy got it. He got who the character was and how he should be portrayed. It's like he knows, not that he thinks, he knows he is king. He knows he's the smartest man in the world. He knows he's the greatest hero in the world. And why don't you see this? So he was perfect, I thought. So if you haven't seen the Doomed documentary, which is about the Roger Corman Fantastic Four, I think it's streaming on Tubi for free. I highly recommend checking that out. It's a lot of fun. These people cared about making a good movie, even though they basically had $5 to make it. Yeah. And so it really kind of influenced a lot of this. So it definitely influenced, I think, this movie. And again, like I said, all four of the four, even the actor who played Reed Richards in the movie, has a speaking part.
That is great, because that means that the residuals just from that movie, the Fantastic Four alone, will give them more money than what they have made in, because the residuals, like people, the residuals for even something like that. Because every time it would be rebroadcast on like the Disney Channel or like TNT or however, it's the actors get checks, right? Like the extras and everything. Like it's weird how that's all set up. But
and of course now you got like the new streaming module. So basically, they every time the movie streams somewhere. So
Right.
yeah. So, but yeah, all four of the four were in the movie, and like I said, the actor who played Reed Richards in the Corman Fantastic Four, he actually had a speaking role. So yeah, and even I don't know if he was in the movie, made a cameo anywhere, but oh god, Doug, what's his face, the actor who stands in for a lot of the suit guys for like Guillermo del Toro movies, and he also played the Silver
Doug Jones.
Surfer and Rise of the Silver. Doug Jones, thank you. Yeah, so Doug Jones was at the premiere for Fantastic Four. I know all four of the Corman Four were there, but Doug Jones was also there too. So I don't know if he's in the movie anywhere and I missed him or what.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, well, even if he's just standing in as just like a human, like he wasn't in a suit or anything like that,
Right,
but still,
right.
Again, it honors so much. It kind of stays in its own game right now. So there's obviously some ways it's going to connect to the bigger stuff coming up pretty soon. But yeah, again, it's a lot of fun. Go check it out. People even ask me when I'm doing my streams on the comic shop, like, oh, did you like this one better or Superman better? I don't know. What do you like better, cookies or ice cream? It's like,
dang, that's a good point. Yeah, that's
like,
a good, yeah.
Yeah, it's like I enjoyed both of them very much, and I would enjoy both of them again. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, but yeah, there are two post-credit scenes. One that's a mid-credit scene. The mid-credit scene is the one to stay for. That's important. I can't stress this enough. I don't want to say why, but I was very excited, and it's the most brief one. The second one is after the credits, and it's a fun one. So. But it kind of makes reference to stuff that happened earlier in the movie that you already kind of saw. So, but yeah, but the first mid credit scene that's kind of the mid credits one, that's the big one. So,
okay,
yeah, lots of fun here. Let's see here. Oh, and Bradley's asking, wait, how is Franklin Richards a mutant despite? Yes. So here's the thing. Basically, his family got essentially infected with cosmic radiation. And then, Reed and Sue got together and they conceived a child. So yeah, their DNA was basically forever altered. Therefore, Franklin was born with his powers.
Yeah, because technically by definition in the Marvel universe, the four are mutants. They just weren't they just don't carry the X gene or whatever that causes mutations. So that's why shit like the legacy virus didn't work on them and all that shit. Like in the most generic sense in the Marvel universe, they are technically mutants.
But, and there's been a couple of miniseries too where they're actually the last X-Men Fantastic Four miniseries was literally fighting over the fact, is Franklin a mutant or not, and should he join the rest of the mutants? And Franklin's like, do I get a say in any of this? Sort of thing like that. And it basically ended with him kind of depowering himself to the point where he still has all that ability, but he put in mental blocks until he starts getting older and getting kind of like, he lets little bits slip in so he can kind of start learning to use it, as opposed to having like, the baby cobra where it has all the venom when it bites you, it has all the venom at once, as opposed to, so he's kind of almost teaching himself to basically be a god, because essentially that's what he is. I mean, he more so than the Scarlet Witch, how she can reshape reality, Franklin can literally reshape any reality.
Yeah.
Like he is god level power.
Yeah.
Scary god power.
That's why, like, I know a lot of people thought it was cheesy, but I loved the Onslaught series.
Oh,
that was basically like, what if Magneto and Xavier and Franklin Richards merged all into one? Like,
and then basically Franklin kind of saves the day of basically making the pocket universe, so all the heroes that supposedly died were in that pocket universe, and they came back.
Man, that's still one of my
go ahead, finish your thought.
Oh no, it's like that. One of my favorite comics of all time is that Marvel Universe Onslaught. Which, by the way, if you don't mind, check out, see if you have that, because I would love to have a copy of it again. But the big showdown right before the Heroes Reborn event When
I probably do because I see a lot of the Onslaught stuff or somewhere around there. Some of the tie-ins, things like that, in our dollar bins. So
yeah,
I know because they had like the one shot that was X-Men and there's the one shot that was Marvel Universe. So you just want the
yeah.
Marvel Universe one?
Well, if you got an X-Men, I'll take the X-Men, but yeah, I'll take
Okay,
them both. But yeah,
okay,
just them
cool.
2 issues. I don't care about the rest of it. But like as far as like a climax for a
Yeah,
thing,
that was really
that
good. Yeah.
issue is just like it's a slugfest. They're in all everybody
Everybody.
is in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Everybody. And everything is exploding and on fire. And Onslaught is just tearing the shit out of everything. And
Hmm.
the stuff is going down. And then finally, Bruce Banner's like, all right, Jean Grey, turn Banner off. And she's like, what? And he's like, no, dude, like, I can't do this. Like, if there's any of me in here, like, Hulk can take this dude. But,
Hmm.
like, yeah, it's like,
I,
what, yeah, one of them, like, the whole deal where it's like one of those, like, all these dudes, like, they think that they're going to die, right? And of course,
yeah.
we all know that they're not. But it's like, they're like, this is what they got to do to save everybody. And it's like,
Hmm.
what and then there was like that other part too. It was one of my favorite things where like Doctor Doom is there too, right?
Yeah.
Because like if anybody's gonna conquer the planet, it's gonna be him. It's not gonna be effing Onslaught. So he's gonna help the heroes, right?
Hmm.
And like
Yeah.
they all gotta make the big charge. And then like, but Doctor Doom ain't gonna do it until he gets hit by an arrow, and then he's like, what the hell? And then Hawkeye gets all pissed off and he's like, Doom, like you get hit by an arrow and you gotta ask who. And so then they basically drag him into the melee. Yeah, it was that whole issue just as like, yeah, like reading that, it was like that was the magic of comics as a kid for me. Yeah.
It really was. And it was still a good, fun, climax to
Yeah.
the story too.
Yeah. And I mean, parts of it were kind of campy and cheesy and everything, but it was like that was still part of the fun of it. That was what made it a comic book. Like it didn't need to be super hardcore, dark and gritty to be as like extinction level as it was.
yeah.
And
Well,
then sorry, you
oh,
go ahead. You go ahead.
well,
Yeah.
it's kind of interesting because the genesis of that story was the Legion quest, stuff that led into that.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was exactly what I was about to say. This years long tease in the
yeah.
X-Men universe that was like, we have like all Bishop knows is that there's this recording of Jean Grey right before
Hmm.
the X-Men just vanish into the future. They're like, yeah, they don't know what
Yeah.
happened. And like you see that like X-Men Onslaught is what happens. And it's just wild to me. Yeah.
But of course, it was a wild setup for that because you get essentially, we're building up to Legion returning, which Legion, if you don't know for X-Men fans, is the son of Charles Xavier. He is probably one of the most powerful mental mutants on the planet. The only problem is he's schizophrenic and has multiple personalities, and each personality has a different mutant power.
Yeah.
And so sometimes he's good, and sometimes he's very bad. And so the whole point of the Legion quest was I'm going to go back in time and kill Magneto. So essentially, Magneto is taken out. Dad
Hang on.
can.
That was the start of the Age of Apocalypse.
Oh, that's right. That is Age of Apocalypse. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Yes. Okay.
Okay. No. Okay. No. The recording, the Jean Grey recording, was the tease with
Yes.
Bishop
Okay.
showing up. Yeah, that was
Yes.
what
Okay.
started. Yeah, it
Okay. Okay.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Legion was in those early Bishop stories with the time travel. So it's like
Yes.
I can see where you would conflate it. So yeah, they all like share a lot of elements. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but that was prime X-Men time, man. Yeah.
It was, yeah. 80s, 90s was definitely prime X-Men
Yeah.
time. But yeah, so exactly. So basically, yeah, essentially, if two people who have been mutated afterwards, if they consummate, then yeah, you're going to make a pure mutant. So, yep,
Right.
pretty much. So, all right. Well, one other movie review to get to here before effed up history here. We saw this one last weekend, and I was a little skeptical going into it, but I had some faith into it because the trailers and the little ads I saw were kind of funny. The Naked Gun remake here, and this is not.
I wanted this to be good, so I'm excited. I'm excited to hear your take on it.
It's not so much a remake as it is kind of like, we are honoring the past and we're jumping forward because he is not Frank Drebin. He is Junior.
Right.
Basically, everybody in the movie is Junior. You seen that part in the trailer where everybody's kneeling down at the altar of their dead fathers, and you get the
The
kid who,
O.J. Simpson joke being brilliant. Yes. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you get the idea that basically everybody's a Junior in there. Police squad is still running. I love it too. They get CCH Pounder to be his commanding officer. So it's like anybody's a Shield fan. It's like,
Yeah.
damn it, Dutch. It's like you just want to just say that kind of shit like that. So Pam Anderson is great in the movie as kind of like the seductive ingenue, but also like dumb as a box of hair because that's what Frank is too. But yeah, and so it's all the physical comedy, inappropriate comedy, stupid shit that you expected from the previous ones, even with a little bit of a 2025 twist. There's some updated, jokes in there as well. But you get there's a cut scene in the credits where they're kind of doing some little scenes here and there, but then they actually do a free scene. Then you do get at the end of the also in the credits you do get the siren, the siren moving along through interesting areas, so like the police cars chasing people through the shower, or they're on the roller coaster. That you see that in the credits. Also, stay through the credits because in the tradition of the great Zucker Brothers movies, there's bombs within the credits, like on-set dressing, this dressing, then basically you get like the catering dressing, ranch, Italian, vinaigrette, and stuff like things like that. I think somebody's Netflix password is in the credits somewhere.
Oh, jeez. That's awesome.
There's jokes within the credits, just like the old Airplane, Naked Gun movies, Top
I'm
Secret.
going to be honest. This is the first time that I'm learning this. I did not know this.
Oh, no shit. Oh, yeah.
Really?
Go back and watch all those old Zucker Brother movies and just watch the credits. There's jokes within the credits. Yes.
Oh, that is so cool. Yes. Oh, man.
Yeah.
30 years later, these movies still deliver.
Oh, yeah. Both the Airplane movies, Top Secret, Kentucky Fried Movie, the Naked Gun movies, all those ones they did, man. Yeah. Just watch the credits. So. And also, strangely enough, the only surviving member of the original cast of The Naked Gun is Priscilla Presley, and girl gets a cameo.
Yes, good.
It's kind of it's not quite a blink and you'll miss it, but it's a brief cameo. But nonetheless, she appears prominently on screen, like yay!
The Naked Gun trilogy is some of my favorite comedies of all time, and I really wanted that to be good. So, that's. And I loved the trailer. It looked hysterical, and then with some of the jokes in there. And I did see a clip that was Liam Neeson not wanting to do something, and then or somebody telling him he'll be arrested, and then he's like, "Who going to arrest me? Other cops."
Is she serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul Walter Hauser's really fun too. Is basically playing kind of the George Candy role because he's basically. He's Ed Jr. So, but play the George Candy role. So, again, I do recommend this. Like I said, granted, you see pictures of Leslie Nielsen, so like he's kind of within this movie in spirit, but it's like, so it's like, it's not, I wouldn't say it's top tier, but it's definitely, if I'm placing Naked Gun remake within the trilogy, it goes 1, 2, remake 3. So, there you go.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I take that back. There is another cameo from another cast member from the original Naked Gun because Weird Al does make a cameo himself, too.
Oh, yeah. That's one of the best gags. Oh, I can talk about the Naked Gun all day. Oh, man.
Yeah,
I paid $30 for that on DVD. I paid $30 for that.
Just the first one?
Yeah, no. Okay. No, in context, like this is when DVD was a new format. And back when and it was bare bones as hell. I think it had like a trailer and interactive menus. Might have had a commentary. I don't remember.
You know what? I bet those old school ones may have had some Easter eggs on there too.
Probably so, yeah. Because I was on EasterEggs.com looking for that kind of stuff. Because the Army of Darkness DVD had a couple of Easter eggs on it that were cool. But I paid $30 at Circuit City for my copy of Naked Gun on DVD. and thought that it was, it was, and it feels weird now that it's like a movie that I can go and pay $5 for on DVD or less,
You could
well,
probably
DVD just in general, being such a cheap format.
you could probably get the entire trilogy for like $12. So like a gift set. So and it's not streaming anywhere. I don't know why, but the DVDs are still in print of the entire 6-episode series of the original Police Squad TV show, which essentially begat the Naked Gun movies. If you've never seen Police Squad, I've talked about it on the forum before here. Go back on YouTube and whatever else, it's on there. But it's a brilliant TV show. Way ahead of its time. Yeah. Way ahead of its time, but yeah. So
canceled canceled because the network said that people would have to pay too much attention to the show, and there were too many jokes, or there were too many, or it was too people. Yeah, it was too many jokes because people couldn't like cook or do something else while still following the plot, because there was it's something along those lines from what I understand. Was one of the reasons why it's canceled.
Like the dumbest reason in the world is like, so you don't want people to watch the TV?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. Well, that's enough of my reviews here. So, my baloney. Yes, love you so, Weird Al. All right, sir. It is now time for the return of history.
So, all right. And I said that my name was kind of a little clue as to what tonight's was. And you remember what I was saying earlier about sourcing things, right? Okay. This is largely difficult to source because of the VHS format and what it is. And when I tell you what it is, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Because back in the day, you remember when VHS was everywhere, right? It was cheap. Yeah. And people were just bootlegging tapes and making stuff all over the place. Well, occasionally you would come across somebody that had this weird tape of like 4 or 5 little shorts of something, right? Bootleg shorts, or something like Heavy Metal Parking Lot. Yeah. That now Heavy Metal Parking Lot I want to touch on, because it was a Judas Priest concert, I think in 86 or 87. Something like that.
I think it maybe had been 85, because I think it was the Screaming for Vengeance tour. Because like that was like, you got another thing coming, breaking the law. It was like that was like one of their high points. So I think it may have been.
Okay, yeah, Prime.
85, 86, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just a guy with a video camera walking around and just like chilling with people. Like they're getting high in the parking lot, they're drinking, it's like, it's just. It's a party in the parking lot, and it's a half hour.
They're waiting on the show.
Yeah, and it's one of those movies that like, or it's a documentary, but it's never really been quote unquote. But it's like people have seen it, but it's never been officially released, and that's
it is streaming, however.
Well, it is now. It was. On VHS, it was never released. It didn't pop up until like I believe the past 10 years in the streaming realm.
Correct.
Yeah. I was like, I sourced things, and I'm like, I think it was this, but no, that wasn't really what I was getting at. But no, but the origins of it was that this just got swapped around by VHS tape traders, and tape trading was a big chunk of television history. And because a lot of those things, like stuff like that, that would get shifted around, it was Heavy Metal Parking Lot would go around. There was like alternative animations that would show up, like old TV pilots and everything, and TV bootleggers at conventions, comic conventions, and everything would swap these out. Still goes on, actually. Oh yeah. You can find people that like have copies of the Justice League pilot. The live action one that was never released. That was a big one. There was that Gen 13 animated series pilot that was never released. Wildcats. Wildcats was released. There was another Image show that had a cartoon that never got. Was it Youngblood? Did Youngblood get an animated series?
Yeah, it may have been Youngblood, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I know there's a lot of that, but yeah, bootleggers have a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, of
And
course, there's a couple infamous documentaries. I mean, up until Peter Jackson did his remastering of Let It Be and then released the long form documentary, and the original actual movie, Let It Be, there was a bootleg version of that all over the place that was pretty
yeah,
uncut and not painted a good picture of the Beatles at that period of time. Or you've got the very infamous Rolling Stones documentary that will never probably see the light of day, Sea Sucker Blues, and that's not the full title there, but uh,
apparently you can find it now.
no way.
I will do some digging on this, but actually, kind of in my research for this, there have been there's scuttlebutt that if you know the right places, and these places are places that I'm familiar with, there might be a
Uh,
copy floating around. So yeah,
I've
it
always wanted to see that one. Yeah.
I have two. I have two. There was that one. There was the Jerry Lewis, The Day the Clown
Oh,
Cried.
yeah.
Yeah. That one was the movie that was Jerry Lee Lewis played a clown in a Nazi concentration camp that led children into the gas chambers. It was
Yeah.
supposed to be like some kind of I guess like Jacob the Liar, Robin Williams kind of style movie,
Yeah.
but like after Jerry Lewis, yeah, it was finished. Jerry Lewis screened it, and he was like, "Nope, not doing that. Don't know what I was thinking there," and vaulted it. I think there's like maybe 8 minutes that got leaked overall
Yeah.
over time,
Mhm.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Not
yeah.
much of the film has been leaked. Jerry Lewis was adamant about never releasing it when he was alive. I think it's even in his will somewhere that there's a long period of time before the movie can actually be released. Like there
Yeah.
is a caveat: the movie can officially be released, but it has to be like a few decades after his death, apparently,
Right.
or
Yeah,
something
I think
along those
something like
lines.
30 or 40 years. But
Yeah.
now people have seen it, like Harry Shearer from The Simpsons, who does
Hmm.
the voice work for The Simpsons. He's seen it and he's
Yeah.
talked about it. So you can Google and find out what he said about it online. But and there have been table readings of the script because apparently that's
Hmm.
out there. But yeah, that's one of those infamous lost movies.
Well,
But
occasionally, like some Hollywood person would get a copy of the movie or get a print or something like that somehow, or they'd borrow it from someone, or somebody would do a screening party. And so, yeah, that's probably how Harry saw the movie, as one of those screening parties.
yeah.
But it was. This was supposed to be kind of Jerry Lewis's like Schindler's List. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to do a serious movie, and this is my Oscar bait kind of movie, and let's talk about the Holocaust, and then the execution of said film. Even he was like, ew, no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
So, not necessarily. I don't think it's meant to be offensive. It's just not good.
Right. Yeah, I don't think it's meant to be offensive. But yeah, you've got
It's no Song of the South, which is definitely offensive.
yeah, that was offensive. I'll still I'll still never forget being horribly surprised as we're going through some of these convention bootlegs, right? And your wife
Mhm.
is very excited to see that there is a convention bootleg of one of these things. And so like and of course she's about to purchase it and I'm like no 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 no, and she gave me this look like I was about to scold her, and I'm like no no no, you don't buy it here, I make a bootleg for you because we don't pay for those kind of bootlegs. Like I can torrent that shit, you
Yeah,
know. So yeah, and it's like yeah, it's like it's a curiosity to see some of this stuff.
it
But
is. Yeah.
yeah,
God.
and a lot of that, and you'll remember too, a lot of that with the VHS format, it's like a lot of that is just not existent anymore. Like VHS got thrown away in
Yep.
mass.
Oh yeah.
And where I'm going with this too is so a lot of the history too was written on those boxes and those things in pen, ballpoint pen, or taped onto labels.
Hmm.
Oh, excuse me, too much soda. Uh, but there have been weird compilations, and one of the weird most infamous copies, one of the most infamous tapes that has an air of mystery around it is a little ditty called "Insuring Your Place in Hell." Have you heard of this?
I don't think I have.
You might.
I've heard legends of some weird tapes, kind of maybe like this, but I'm not sure if I've heard about this one in particular.
Okay, so this tape, the way the folklore behind the tape, and I can actually verify part of the folklore. The folklore of this tape is that there is a VHS tape with 4 shorts on it, and I believe it's also supposedly early. What the tape that I remember is uploaded to YouTube. So it was one of these tapes that circulates and everything, but it's also one of these tapes too that got chopped up and parts got put on other things. So
Sure.
not necessarily all 2 copies are the same, but
Okay.
the primary tape has 4 shorts on it. One of them is Cooking with Huck Bucktoe, which is a man who is doing like a spoof, and this is all on a camcorder, right? Like he's
Yeah.
doing a spoof of a cooking show where he's making food that he's going to feed his father, but he's like hawking loogies into it and like snot rockets and like doing all this vile stuff. And then like he's taking it to his father and letting him eat it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so people are horrified, and for years there were people who were terrified that this was actually a real clip. Well, Huck Bucktoe is a comedian who he was like one of those performance artists. There's another section of the video that is like I believe these aren't the important sections. I believe it's like public execution videos from like or it's like one of them kind of deals or something like that, or different versions of that have spliced in.
Yeah.
And alter or very very grim dark stuff in this video or in these videos. But
Right.
the crown jewel, the big mystery, the big thing that we're going to go back in history for, because it's kind of a murky period of VHS history, is the tale of grave robbing for morons. And I'm actually surprised that you've never heard of this. So
No,
it
I don't
is
think I have.
grave robbing for morons, and I'm actually going to pop up a still of it because it's not something that I want to really show, but it'll get the idea.
Hmm.
But hold on, sorry. Okay, so go ahead if you can bring that up. There's a still from the movie, and this gentleman is holding a what appears to be a human skull, and is narrating what to do to successfully dig up graves and steal bones and clean them. And this goes on for about 21 minutes.
Hmm.
And he goes through and describes the process, shows bones several times. You can see like the style of room that he's in too, right? Like so it's like you
Yeah.
kind of like that what time period did you just see when you look at this? Like,
Oh, this
you
is
know,
like that's a mid '90s stereo system right there,
yeah,
or maybe like late '80s, early '90s, somewhere around there. Yeah.
right. Yeah, exactly. So like, and of course, like that this goes on, and he talks with kind of a stutter. Like there's probably like his age. This gentleman, his name is he identifies himself as Anthony, and starts
Mhm.
to say his last name, but then cuts himself off. And
That's
the problem,
good
yeah,
idea.
probably one of the smartest things he does. But this is also, I believe, he either says that he is in New York, or it is identified as New York City.
Okay.
So cemetery. There's another still I want to pop up here. That's kind of Also, just to give you an idea of what this video is, and it's not necessarily graphic if you're okay with just looking at bones in general, because there's
Mhm.
no like flesh stuck to them or anything. But people have watched this and watched these videos, or this video in particular, and studied it to try and figure out if it is fake or if it is real.
Ah, okay.
And that is the big question behind it, because the folklore is that it is real, and it was part of this, and it is part of this the compilation called Ensuring Your Place in Hell.
Yeah.
Uh, but there's speculation as to whether or not this originated on VHS or if it was originated on DVD. Well,
Ah.
yeah, now there has been a big push. It's been interesting to follow the phenomena of like the anthropology of this thing over the years too. Because when I first found out about it, like it was the folklore of the VHS tape. Well, now there is a company that has released a DVD, or released a VHS copy of it, one of those fly by night like bootleg VHS labels. They've made an Ensuring Your Place in Hell compilation with this on it, and the Huck Bucktoe short, and one of the some of the others that were on there. I can't, yeah, the
Yeah.
non important ones, and releasing that as like a quote unquote official compilation of it,
Okay.
which is muddying the market because they're also a DVD distributor. And so but like there's angles to that theory that have been debunked, because it's this whole thing is like you've got 21 minutes of a stoned teenager talking about bones. So that's
Right.
not a whole lot to go on, like, and like video archaeologically wise. But it's one of those dark, macabre little bits of television video lore that lurk,
Okay.
and it's only preserved on places like YouTube, or like this is public domain footage, as far as
Mhm.
anyone's concerned.
Right. Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, there's all kinds of stuff like this that just becomes lost media or whatever. But other things too, it's like this could also be, maybe it's some college kid student film. Who knows? Like, yeah,
Yeah.
it
That could. It's very easy to basically get a plastic skull from basically like a science
right.
lab display or Halloween stuff like that, and dress it up and make it look a little dusty and real or things. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
that's
and
funny
now
though.
yeah, and people have tried to identify. I believe there's a magazine in one shot, and people have tried to identify what the magazine was and what month.
Oh my
And I
god.
mean, of course, like that's an interesting theory, but that would really only take you so far, right? Like, so
Sure.
that meant that it just couldn't have been filmed before that
Yeah, you can
magazine
narrow
came out.
down the time
Like,
period a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
right, yeah, but no, that's the a little tamer effed up history for tonight, but just to give y'all a little who done it too, and to keep things weird on the history thing, because it is kind of effed up, the whole
It
grave
is.
robber
Yeah.
thing. And
I'd say. Oh, sorry. Please,
no,
finish your thought
no,
there.
no,
Yeah.
no, please, by all means.
Well, I was gonna say, basically another kind of effed up video that is a part of history. I can't remember the politician's name, but basically it's a famous piece of video that
Bud
you can find.
Dwyer.
Bud Dwyer, yes,
I
yes.
know
So
exactly.
this guy basically got caught up in a scandal and was basically held a press conference where essentially everybody was expecting him to confess to everything, apologize, whatever else. Basically, he has like a brown paper sack with him. It puts his hand inside the sack and pulls out a small revolver and proceeds to shoot himself in the head on live television.
Yep.
And he actually killed himself. And like the
Yeah.
whole crowd, everybody's like, "What the hell just happened?"
It
So
was
yeah,
one
so,
of yeah. It's one of those moments that's up there with Oswald, or the with Ruby shooting Oswald
mm-hmm.
on yeah.
Yeah.
And
So
there
like,
was also there was also a TV reporter that she killed herself on air too.
yeah,
And yeah,
I
I
can't
forgot her
remember.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, the Bud Dwyer one's always the most famous because the Bud Dwyer one pops up on a lot of compilations of weird videos. The you know people that do like somebody's found. Yes, what you find? What you got? Yeah, just you hunt. One of the kitties is hunting something, so
Oh.
they're very good hunters. Thank you for bringing whatever stuffed animal that is. Yeah,
We're an animal friendly podcast here on the Fanatic Forum.
we sure are. Our babies they're just taking over the show. I mean, used to be back in the day the girls would play cameos, but not so much they do cameos anymore. So, yeah, but like I said, there's all kinds of just weird clips and stuff out there. So yeah, if you really want to do a deep dive, and YouTube does have a lot of this stuff out there.
Yeah.
Um, and again, yeah, I'm sorry I don't remember names of the guy, but for an interesting bit of documentarian kind of history, or shows a chronicling sort of thing like that, you have got I think it was a woman in Pittsburgh, essentially like for decades recorded everything off of one local channel. Like she just basically threw a VHS tape in like each day and just recorded the entire day's programming. So she would get news, commercials, programs, whatever else. So it's an absolute document of television history in this certain time period in her area. So it's really fascinating. I mean, it's like there's hundreds of these tapes.
Yeah, I remember reading about that. There's a documentary about that too.
There
That
is, and I believe somebody like digitally, basically, dumped all this stuff on there. So like, it's either like available like through the Library of Congress or something along those lines, where like it's accessible to the public to
oh
see. And
wow.
like they put all this stuff on video to for basically so it can stay preserved.
Yeah.
because like
Yeah,
it's
I
like
knew they were archiving it, but I didn't know that it was
yeah
publicly available. That's awesome.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah. I think it's like a few years ago it became publicly available. So I mean, it's like it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of video. But it's
Yeah.
like
Oh,
if
from
you
what
ever
I understand, it was like still ongoing too,
yeah.
because I mean, this woman did it herself for 40 years,
Hmm.
round the clock.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah.
Yeah, you got that string? Well, thank you. I appreciate you're an excellent hunter. Iris got us a string, everybody.
Oh, how
Yeah,
sweet
thank
of
you,
her.
dearest. Yeah. She's very good. She loves her strings. Like if it's like a draw string or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's her
She has
deal.
4. She has white string, black string, gray string, and pride string, which is basically it's like a rainbow string. So it's
Oh,
pride string.
that's so
Yeah.
cute.
Yes, it is. So, but yeah, this girl loves her some string. So Oh, well, on that note, sir, man, we had a good time. It was nice to come back
Yes,
after a little bit of a break
it was
there.
a good relaxed fit show. It was good to bring us back on. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight, Bradley. It was
Yes,
good
sir.
seeing
Yes,
you
sir.
again, sir. And
Oh, yeah, good show, guys. So next week we haven't quite decided on a topic just yet, but we'll figure that out before next week, I'm sure.
yeah,
God, God willing, whatever else is going to happen in the world, monumental rock stars like Ozzy pass away, or
oh
you
gosh,
know,
yeah.
you know, Hulk Hogan. Boy, I tell you what, these days I'm feeling bad for Brooke. Let's put it that way.
I know that's so yeah. Finding out all that stuff coming out, it's awful for her.
It seems like Brooke is just become the normal, well-adjusted one. Like she got out of the limelight. She's got a job. She's married, got kids, and just tries to live a
Yeah,
normal life. And like Nick and Mom are still trying to capture whatever glory they can. And now basically, their meal ticket's gone. So it's like,
yeah,
yeah, this is gonna be interesting.
yeah.
But yeah, so maybe more on that. Maybe not. Maybe we'll find it as something much else to talk about. So
We'll figure it out, and we'll give you another. We'll be back next week, folks.
yeah, we will definitely be back next week, Harry. So you guys will find out when we find out. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us once again on the Fanatic Forum here. We love hanging out with you all. This is the home for geeks. So definitely like, share, whatever else. And of course, if you want more action from Mr. Seth over here, you got to check out Smokes and Road Beers Thursday, 6:30 Eastern on Facebook and Rumble. So,
Yep. Yeah,
yep.
and Des is now part of the show. So yeah, she was with us last
Yay!
night. Yeah, I thought we had a fun show last night too. So yeah,
You guys,
check
yeah,
it
I
out.
came in the second. I came in the second half of it. Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, and Mr. Doug's coming here. Eat
Oh,
your
what up,
prayers.
Bill? Say your
Eat
vitamin
your prayers and
pills.
say your vitamin pills.
I love it. I love it.
Oh yeah, Doug's one of my buddies from Whatnot. And matter of fact, those biker movies I was telling you about, the Dear God No, and
Yeah.
the God created bikers or whoever else. Yeah, so Doug's in the most recent one, but yeah, he was the one that turned me on to those crazy ass movies. So I got to
Okay.
thank Doug for
Cool.
those. Yeah,
Nice. Well, thank you, Doug. Thank
yeah,
you for coming out and hanging out. Oh
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah,
And speaking of your whatnot streams, when V comes on, tell him that like I've got the Bullet Club fit specifically
mm-hmm.
for him tonight. And
Yeah,
yeah, but where are you,
yes.
V? Where are you?
Frank, thank you. Frankenstein created bikers. Thank you, Doug. Frankenstein created bikers is the most recent
Oh,
one,
okay,
and,
okay.
and Doug gets to play a cameo in the movie. He's a guy hanging out in a sleazy nightclub, and there's a very sexy lady dancer who Joe Bob fans may recognize dancing in the club, and so yeah, Doug gets to be in that scene. So.
Is it our favorite male girl, Darcy?
It is our favorite male girl, Darcy. But also, if you want me to break the magic of Hollywood, there is a little bit of reality that comes into that scene.
Oh.
That all the gentlemen that were in the scene playing the extras going, woo, and hooting and hollering and throwing their dollars, they may not have been in the same room at the same time that Miss Darcy was doing her scene.
Oh.
Yeah. So it may have been she was dancing for no one but the cameraman, and the dudes were hooting and hollering at no one.
Okay.
But Doug said it was the role he was born to play. And it certainly was, yes. With a little bit I've known Doug, yes, it was the role he was born to play. Oh, that's cool though. Yeah, but yeah, we enjoy the crazy exploitation, psychomania kind of stuff there. So
That is
anyhow,
awesome.
so check out, basically spread the word for Fanatic Forum. Check out Smokes and Road Beers if you haven't done that already, and you guys have yourselves a wonderful weekend. We will see you all next time on the old Fanatic Forum. And in the meantime, as we end our stream here, we give you guys a word from our friends at Comic Books for Kids. So we will see you all next time. TTFN.
My name is Mark Weiss, and I am the founder and president of an organization called Comic Books for Kids. 6 years ago this month, we embarked on a journey of passion and heart. Our goal was to make a difference for children in hospitals and cancer centers. Little could we have ever imagined the response we have now. Starting with just hopes and dreams, we had no money for our mission. We had no product to give to the hospitals, and we had only called a couple hospitals and asked them, if we were to provide you with comic books, would you be interested? And they said yes. So we embarked on a 1-year journey to make a difference for these kids. We realized that even though we can't take away the reason these children are in hospitals, we can perhaps, while they are there, let them fly like a superhero, be princes and princesses, and embark on a mystical and magical journey to take them away from where they are in that hospital bed. Today, and thanks to your support, we are thrilled to say that we are now the largest charity in the U.S., supporting well over 200 hospitals in all 50 states for not only comic books, but for other pop culture items like Funko Pops, action figures, coloring books, Spanish bilingual items, backpacks, and more. When we received materials that were inappropriate for the young ones, we started a sister charity called Comic Book for Truth, and overnight, we became the largest charity in the U.S. for these same items to all branches of the military. We want to thank our friends for providing us their support and for allowing us the means to make so many happy with their gracious give to us.